Thanks for talking with me today, Johnny.
Privilege having you. Ms. Jeri's a former agent and manager, now author, and music business and performing arts consultant. Ms. Jeri, can you please tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, I started working in the entertainment industry way back in college when I was running my college coffee house and booking acts. And then from that started to book some of those acts into other colleges to create tours for them and extend their tours. So it's been about 20 years that I was doing booking and touring and being a booking agent and an artist manager for a lot of the top touring acoustic groups around the U.S. During that time, I also was promoting larger concerts with larger acts actually I was up in the Albany, New York area, so I was doing some promotion up there. I also worked as a country music DJ at a country station, worked in television and broadcast as well. So I've compounded all of those experiences into working with artists on a consulting basis. And after about 20 years of working as a booking agent, I took about 2 years to write my book, How to Be Your Own Booking Agent. And that book has now been out. It's in the 7th printing, 3rd edition, and it's been used by many of the major music business courses at universities around the country and in Canada and some in Europe, and music business courses like Berklee College of Music and NYU and a lot of the other entertainment industry schools around the country and in Canada. So it definitely gives artists a unique perspective on how to create a successful touring career by starting them from scratch. You know, folks that are just questioning, well, I think I'd like to be a performing artist in some way, shape, or form. And it's very detailed in all of the aspects of working in the industry, how to negotiate contracts, how to market yourself in all the different arenas with print and radio and TV and internet marketing, and how to really go from I think I want to have a performing career to when to quit your day job.
What are some of your areas of expertise?
Working with management and publishing and concert promotion, working with artists to help them create long-lived careers. So I've been doing consulting now for about 15 years since I stopped doing booking and touring with my artists in management. I mean, I've worked with artists who have gone on to open for major performing artists, worked with artists who have, been on TV, and my television experience has helped me to help my artists understand what it means to market to television, market to radio, how to conduct effective radio and TV interviews, how to dress for success, how to, be the unique artist that they are and use their skills in creating their unique performance presentation and how to market that to their audience so that they stand out above the crowd. Today we have a lot of independent artists, as you mentioned, that are all vying for the same gigs or the same marketplace or the same audience. So I really help artists to find their uniqueness in this world of so many people competing for the same arenas, and I help each of the artists to really figure out, well, how can I stand out from all those other people? And for instance, if you have multiple artists doing hip-hop, well, they each have something different and unique that they focus on. Their writing is different, their presentation might be different, even though it's in the same genre. And that's what I found with multiple genres across the board. If you have jazz or blues or country or folk, whatever the genre is, there's going to be something unique about you that helps you to stand out above the crowd. So I help artists figure out how to tell people about it, how to tell the media about that uniqueness. uniqueness, how to tell their audience about their uniqueness so that they are able to get better money and better gigs and have a successful touring career, as opposed to just really struggling and trying to be just one of the crowd that are looking for the same gig and the same money. That's been one of the problems that I think a lot of artists run into these days, is that there's so many people who can do it now, who can record their own CDs, who can get out there and tour, but there's only so many venues that they're looking at. So I also help artists to figure out where are the unique venues and how can you take yourself out of the competition and find unique audiences to play for and create interesting partnership that will allow you to move outside of the competition.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's very interesting because just on the conversation, I can see how an artist could be transformed from leaving his creative field into actually getting more involved in the music business part of it, because the music is a business. Now, as an author and an artist development expert, how do you work with artists, and on what aspect of the artist development do you mostly concentrate?
Well, first I try to figure out where they are right now. I look at any kind of website they have, or multiple websites. I look at their marketing materials and asking them what their long-term, short-term, and mid-term goals are, to figure out, how we can work together to achieve and reach some of those goals. So I first have to take an assessment, and get an overview of what's going on now. I look back at a little bit of history to see if there's anything in the history that would give them a leg up, or something that they did in the past but they're not using to help promote themselves, because sometimes people, done that, been there, and then they forget about something that might be really a good sales tool, but they've done it, and so they just forget about it. So I try to dig up stuff from their past that's going to be useful and helpful, and I look at their marketing materials, and I make suggestions on how to tweak the marketing materials, possibly even we rewrite all the marketing materials, simply because they've not tapped into their unique marketing ability and the things that are sellable to their prospective audience. I also help them to look at who is their target audience and really be very clear about, you probably heard the term, or you probably heard some artists say when you ask them, so who's your audience, who would like your music? And they go, oh, everybody. Well, that's not necessarily true. Not everybody likes everything that everybody does. And so it's really important for artists to hone in on their exact audience, and they'll do much better. They'll sell more. They'll have a better time selling. They'll have an easier time performing for an audience that they know to be absolutely appreciative. And it's just finding that audience. And that's essentially what we do to get started. Then with artists that are already out there, that are already touring, and that have been having some success, we take a look at what's going on now and look at their goals to see where do they want to get to, and what are they doing now that might be hindering their success, might be kind of lackluster, and we need to tweak it so that it helps them to shine a little bit better. And again, to find unique target niche audiences to help them become much more efficient and effective in selling themselves, or helping their agent or manager sell them, and make sure that they're getting the kind of gigs that they really want to be getting, and upgrade the kind of income that they would really like to be making. And that all starts with them understanding who they are as an artist, how do they tell their story, and who they believe to be their real, true audience. It makes it all a lot easier.
For all the artists that want to go from amateur to a professional, can you please let them know where they can find you and how they can link up with you?
Yeah, sure. So a good place to start would be the website, and it's www.performingbiz with a B-I-Z at the end, performingbiz.com, and right there you'll be able to sign up right away to be getting my weekly Biz Booster Hot Tip, which every Monday morning I do an audio and typewritten little e-zine podcast that gives you a very brief hot tip of what you could do this week, something to look at in your career, to think about that you could do this week to keep you moving forward. So one of my goals for artists is to just give them very easy, step-by-step, not big overwhelming things, but something that's very simple. Here's one thing to do. Because most people, they end up getting overwhelmed by the enormity of the task at hand. You know, create a performing career that's successful and makes you money. That's a pretty big job. So you have to break it down into little tiny steps so that you can say, okay, well, today I'm going to do this, and then tomorrow I'm going to do that, and all of it builds upon each other. So my weekly Biz Booster Hot Tip helps people do that week after week after week. And then once you sign up, then I also have a 5 booking strategies that really work. So that gives people another head start to begin to look at how they can use these 5 very specific strategies in their own career and their own business to help jumpstart their booking and touring and make it much easier. And then once you're in the website, there's tons of free articles, and I have my books there, and there's a lot of resources for touring artists. And then we can also look at online courses that I've got going, some audio classes, my one-on-one consulting programs that I have. So all that is there, and it's very easily accessible. A lot of really great step-by-step bits of information that really can get artists moving along from a very, let's get started on our career and just keep them going. And I've got artists that work with me and that have been using my website that were just getting started. And then I have long-time road warrior artists that have been out there for many years that continue to return to the website and use my book as their booking Bible to help them get gigs and move along in their career. So I hope that some of your artists will take advantage of all the stuff that is there and use it to make big changes in their career if they're already gotten started, and if they haven't, at least to get started in a really logical, step-by-step, profound way that are going to kind of shave years of inexperience off their calendar so that they can move ahead much faster, much more efficiently, as opposed to trying to reinvent the wheel and, suffer all of the paying your dues stuff that so many artists do when they're just sitting there questioning, well, now what do I do? And struggling through a lot of the same things that most artists struggle through when they don't have somebody on their side that is industry savvy and that does know, what's the next step to take. And so the website really does help artists do that. And that's what I do. That's my goal, is to help artists create effective touring careers without all the pain and struggle.
Jeri, I just wanted to thank you for your time. It's been a privilege, very informative. I'm excited for our audience. For everybody, go to performingbiz.com and sign up to get your free report, 5 booking strategies that really work, by Jeri Goldstein. So thank you again, Ms. Jeri Goldstein.
You bet. Thank you.